Alrighty. Got a match versus Wharf Rat for the Allies tournament. Rather poorly themed, as we are in fact enemies, and I will need to beat him to advance. These 4 games shall have a progressively increasing number of cards from the Allies expansion that just dropped this morning. Wharf Rat and I are both in the playtesters group. I'm not seeing where to force an ally instead of ally or empty. Oh, you're asking the wrong person. Or maybe you're asking the table as a whole. And maybe that includes the right person. This is why you strategically join the table rather than host the table, so you don't have to figure out how to set things up. Alrighty. Game numero uno. What have we here? Oh, look at that. We got 2 allies anyway, despite only one being forced. So, the relevant new cards here are Sycophant. +1 action, discard 3 cards. If you discarded at least 1, +3 coins. So, significantly, this looks like it gets you to 5, like opening Horse Traders or Mill, but this actually doesn't. This gets you to hit 4 reliably. So, its most obvious apparent appeal is in fact illusory. When you gain or trash this +2 favors, that is potentially a strong effect, contingent upon what favors do. And in this kingdom, we got Order of Witches. After you play a liaison, you may spend 3 favors to have each other player gain a curse. So you can curse them with Sycophant, but you have to play the Sycophant to give out the curses as well. Interesting. There is no trashing. Yes, there is. We'll get to the other new pile in a second. There is trashing. But also there's a better cursor, so I'm not sure how important that's going to be. The second pile, the Wizards. Student, +1 action, you may rotate the Wizards. Trash a card from your hand. If it's a treasure, +1 favor and put this onto your deck. So student also can curse, but can trash curses. So that's something. We got a lot of curses actually, now that I realize this. We got Conjurer. Gain a card costing up to 4. At the start of your next turn, put this into hand. Sorcerer, +1 card, +1 action. Each other player names a card, then reveals the top card of their deck. If wrong, they gain a curse. So this is the opposite of Sorceress from the Augurs pile, in which you guess a card, and if you guess right, they get a curse. And then lastly, Lich. +6 cards, +2 actions, skip a turn. And then when you trash this, discard it, and gain a cheaper card from the trash. Is there trash for benefit in this kingdom? No. Which is a shame, because we also have Fortress. But there's nothing, Student can trash treasures for benefit, but it doesn't do a whole lot with Lich or Fortress. Okay. So, what are we doing? We got villages, we got draw. Oh, is there no plus buy here? That's pretty significant, ain't it? How do you get multiple cards per turn? Oh, there's Conjurer. So Conjurer is going to be real significant, I think. Even that's not sufficient because, it lets you get 4s and stuff, but it can't get the cards you really want, like Old Witch, and it's not going to be great for greening. Can't get you duchies. Yeah, the lack of gains are a major problem here, aren't they? There's no way to get stuff into the trash reliably and then lich them back out of the trash, I don't think. All of a sudden, I'm unsure how to play this kingdom. I think I'm opening a student. I'm wondering about double student. I kind of want to hit 4 and buy a conjurer. And double student actually probably doesn't get to 4. Is it maybe cut burst student? I'll try that. Oh, well, shoot, we went and hit 5. Much too much. Probably just Old Witch here. Seems too good to pass up. And then do I trash a copper and take a native village? Do I trash an estate and probably still take a native village? So trashing a copper would let me top deck the student for next turn. And it would give me a favor. But I'd rather not have an estate in my deck. I think I kill the estate anyway. And they have a student already, so I can't like strategically rotate the wizards in any important way. I'll leave it at student because I don't want them to have first crack at the conjurers. You jerk face. You cursing me? What? Already? Oh, they bought a sycophant. That's how they got favors so fast. Well, I don't appreciate that, Warfrat. Oh, this is actually kind of nifty. I was about to bemoan the fact that playing student and trashing a copper would cause me to top deck my student, but that's actually going to prevent my Old Witch from missing a shuffle. Will I hit 4? I guess is the question I need to ask now. I'm pretty sure the answer is no, isn't it? I got a copper set aside. My previous turn I drew 2 estates, 2 so I drew 2 of my coppers and 2 of my estates in my native village last turn. I set aside 1 of my coppers. There's 3 coppers here. I believe that's a cut person, a copper down there. So if I trash this, I'm not getting to conjurer. Sadly. More native villages or border guard? I think more native villages. So Warfrat's going for some sort of sycophant rush. I guess I should take a second student then, is what that suggests to me, because I'm going to have curses to deal with. I kind of wanted to trash a copper and set aside the student with native village, but that stops me from hitting 2, and there's good 2s in this kingdom. So I think I'm just trashing estate again. Maybe now border guard. I don't have all that many terminals. I don't think I believe in this sycophant rush thing that's going on. I mean, I can trash the curses. It's not like this destroys my deck. I mean, maybe I can't trash the curses fast enough and that becomes a problem. Also, how do I not have a native village? I'm like way over villaged relative to my number of terminals, and I'm still repetitively drawing Cutpurse dead. This is actually kind of silly. And I did border guard dead. Yeah. Not lovely. So if I set aside first, I don't think I want to pick that up. Oh, why did that happen? After you play a liaison. Okay, I was expecting it to be when you play a liaison. In buys. I mean, I don't believe at all in the sycophant rush, but at the same time, my deck ain't doing what it could be doing. Do I want to play the student twice in a turn? Maybe. I'd probably rather just trash a curse. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We're getting Conjurer. Now good things will happen. So curses are out. I don't get what his game plan is after phase 1. So we got step 1, give me all the curses. What's step 2? Buy coppers? I'm lost. I'm really hoping I find a native village. Dang, that's a lot of terminals. Uh-oh. Oh no. Well, I guess I'd take the copper. And we'll gain ourselves a fortress. Maybe I need a silver actually to start hitting price points. I feel like my deck has lined up in a near maximally awkward fashion. I have so few terminals and so many villages, and yet I'm experiencing extreme rates of terminal collision here. Oh, because the native villages keep setting each other aside. I guess I gotta pick all this up. Don't want to rotate that. Sorcerer is a suitably useless card. I'll leave it there until such time as I decide I want another wizard. I'm fine with just one conjurer. I'm fine with him having 0. So don't rotate, and probably just trashing the curses. And a fortress and a border guard. Okay, is this the first time this game that I've lined up my old witch with any of my native villages? I think it might be. Student, I think, is important. I want to trash things. Okay. I guess I trash 1 copper with the students, since then I can draw it again with fortress. I didn't really want to trigger that shuffle. Clear out some more of these curses. And just more fortresses. I need to figure out how to hit 5. I've hit 5 once this game. Let's take a cut purse maybe. I'm not even sure if that's better than silver. I'm not sure how many coppers he's trashed. But 2 cut purses is real threatening if he ever thinks about buying Banquet. It's quite the deterrent. I still don't get his deck. So now we're going for Misers. Sycophant Rush into Misers does not... I don't think that's a thing. I don't believe. I'm sorry, Warfrat. I am a skeptic. Okay, hitting 5. Scholar might be better than Old Witch here. We'll never know. All right, what have we in this kingdom? We have 2 allies, this time not by chance, this time by force. Because game 2 has 2 allies. So we, wait a second, this is going to be confusing because allies sounds like it refers to like cards from the expansion allies. But these things are also called allies. We have 1 tan landscape ally, and we have 2 allies expansion card. I don't know how to differentiate those effectively. This is gonna be more of a conundrum than Menagerie and Menagerie. So in any case, we got Architect's Guild. When you gain a card, you may spend 2 favors to gain a cheaper non-victory card. So it's like Haggler. You're getting a Haggler effect each time. Underling. +1 card, +1 action, +1 favor. So you play 2 of those, and you've got a cantrip Haggler effect. Well, for 1 card. And like 1 Haggler would give you 2 gains for every buy of that turn, whereas 2 Underlings gives you 2 gains for the first buy of that turn. We've also got Sentinel, which is like Sentry/Lookout. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You may trash up to 2 of them. Put the rest back in any order. Okay. Where is this kingdom going? Oh, well, there's not really any draw. I mean, you can circumstantially draw cards with Settlers or Bustling Village, but that doesn't really count. This kingdom is kind of lackluster. Yeah, I think this is just money. I think 5/2 seems pretty good because I can open Trading Post. Although Sentinel might be a pretty strong trasher of its own accord. You open Sentinel Underling. Sentinel seems really good if you find it turn 3. So I'd like you to not find it turn 3. Thank you very much. But do I want a Sentinel? I've already got a Terminal. There's also Toil, though, which could help resolve Terminal Collision. I could consider a Sentinel. I kind of got a feeling that I don't need to trash super fast, though. And that Trading Post will be enough. Like in these money games, I feel like the only really important thing is you really want to kill the states. It's okay if there's a few coppers lying about. So I think I'm just going to play with Trading Post as my terminal. Maybe that'll transition to Trade Route later. If Harems or Distant Lands get gained, Trade Route could be worth a lot. Or even Distant Lands could be the terminal. Oh no! Oh goodness me! No, my poor Trading Post has bottom decked. This is a disaster of epic proportions. And it's only lining up with 1 estate, and only because I set that aside. Come on, Trading Post, you can do better than this. Well, now all of a sudden I'm wishing I had a Sentinel just to get through this shuffle a little faster. Oh, that was no good. That was no good at all. What do I want? Sure, I'll go with the Scepter. There's nothing particularly appealing right now for 5. Scepter is at worst a silver, and maybe it helps me in some circumstance double play a Trading Post or something. Not super likely given the size of the hand I would need for that, but maybe I could set that up with Haven. Okay. More underlings. I could gain a free haven. I think I'm going to pass on that, though. I think this effect seems like it's more opportunely used on more expensive things. So I'll just keep clicking these. I don't even know. This doesn't look great. Just looking at this hand, I don't expect to trash estates with trading posts this shuffle. Either I'm going to draw that trading post but not have a whole lot in hand to trash with it, or I'm going to bottom deck my trading post yet again. Neither is amazing. I think we're rooting for draw trading post even if this hand kind of sucks for it. Like I could draw a trading post in one estate, right? Yeah, I've only ideal draw here I think is draw a trading post in an estate, and I can set aside the silver or the scepter or something and just trash copper estate. Uh-oh. Well, did not draw the estate. I'm actually thinking maybe I just I could replay the Haven with Scepter. Then I can't buy anything. I think I'd rather buy something. The twos here are not terrible. Oh, I can Architect's Guild off of my trading post. That's cute. Oh, I messed this. I forgot that trading post gives us silver, to be perfectly honest. I didn't need to. The whole reason I set aside the Scepter was because, let me see if I can do that. I wanted to buy it too, and I forgot I was going to get a silver anyway. Whoopsie daisy. Okay, so we're going to trash 2 and Scepter the Haven. This is a real expensive haven right here. Okay. Maybe we'll take a Settlers, I don't know. This Settlers was pretty unlikely to activate given how thin my deck is. You have to have a copper in the discard, which means you have to have played a copper in your top of your shuffle, find Settlers towards the bottom, but not so far towards the bottom that you've triggered a new shuffle. And I think my deck is probably too thin for that to realistically occur. This maybe should have just been another haven. I don't know. So now it is of great importance to me that I do not bottom deck my trading post, because I've got both of my estates in my hand. Come on. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Now we're in business. Oh, man. This is going to be... Oh, ready for this? I'm going to buy a province. I'm going to gain a gold. I'm going to activate it again and gain... I don't know what I'm gaining, but I'm going to gain more things. Scepter, Venture... So many options. Sure, Venture, why not? I could activate it again if I want to. I kind of want to just to keep the ball rolling. I probably don't need another 3, but let's keep doing this. Oh man, look at this. Hey, oh my god, look at all those gains. That probably wasn't strategic, those last few gains, but I couldn't not do that. It would be real nice if they could gain victory cards here. Oh, you know what I should have gotten? I can still get it. I think it's high time for a trading post. Not a trading post, a trade route. The other of the tradey things. Architect's Guild, trade route. These things are now worth 3, and they could go up as high as 5. So he's going for distant lands, which does not sound bad to me. I should probably consider buying distant lands on 5, maybe even on 6. Maybe that's better than Harem. I don't know. I am not a fan of Architects Guild's art. Like this is a building. This is just a building. Look closely and inspect it for any indication that this is a guild, let alone a guild of architects. There is none. I mean, it's a well-drawn building, but it is nothing more and nothing less than just a building. Contrast that with Guildhall, which is a much better example of a guild being depicted artistically, where there's I think it's like an anvil with like a hammer or something on top of it as a statue out front, which is like, oh look, this is a place where workers do things. I think conveys the guildy nature of the hall. Or what's it, Crafters Guild? There's a new one. There's another one in Allies. I think it's Crafters Guild. Similar effect where it's meant to depict a guild and it's got clear guild-like iconography. Oh man, this is too much money. What do I do with all this money? Seriously, what do I do with 11 money? 13 money? I don't need this. Just get a favor, I guess. I can toil a few times. Another province. Can of gold. This feels neck and neck. Oh no, I'm not quite getting there. I guess it's time to buy a distant land. I think I'll have time to play that before this game ends. My deck is not super thick. I'll save the Architects Guild for now. But, oh, look at this. Look at this. My Settlers is going to draw me a copper. That's big news. That's like a whole poacher. So I'm a tad behind, even factoring that distant lands, which I will have to take a second to play. I'm at 18 to 20, but there's time left to catch up. I sure hope I hit 8 here, though. This looks like it'll be 8, most likely. Oh, well, never mind. Apparently I have more coppers left than I thought. Well, you can at least afford to toil. That's what's important. Take a distant lands. And do I want things? I mean, now would be the time to get them. I like these settlers. These settlers are doing good stuff. Oh, I can't gain 2 settlers. It wants me to get something cheaper than settlers. Never mind, we shall just continue. Oh, maybe I should have thought about buying Duchy. Just to power up this trade route. That would have been nice. I could just trash the underling here. I think I'd rather play it. If I draw my trading post, I would love to kill that. Not exactly sure what's down there, to be honest, but I believe a trading post to be hiding down there. The other two cards, no idea. So he's only hitting 5. Trading post. Uh-oh. Well, I can't play this Haven with my Scepter, can I? No, I cannot. So I trash a silver, and I'm hitting 11. That's a decent number. I think I'd rather harem distant lands than province something. It draws the game out a little bit longer. Because I've still got a bunch of distant lands that I really need to play. Certainly from this shuffle onward. Now that I've triggered a shuffle with 26 cards in it, I don't think I want any more distant lands. If I hit 5 now, it's just a Duchy, because I'm not going to have time to play them. My hope is that this game lasts at least long enough for me to play all 3 of the distant lands in my deck, which would bring me up to 28 points. I would have liked to find a trade route, but I have not, so I shall set aside the trading post for the following turn. Uh-oh. Can I even afford to buy this province? I'm just going to lose. Like, even if I buy province and he misses, I'm not hitting 33 points. What do I do? I mean, I have to buy this province, I guess, because otherwise, like, if he gets any more provinces, I'm definitely toast. So this likely means I'm just losing next turn, but that is unavoidable. So I need him to miss province like 2 turns in a row, and for me to play a bunch of these distant lands. The odds are not looking great. I imagine the dilemma he might have been facing here is, do you try to play around me somehow scoring 10 points, like province plus distant lands or something? And I don't think it's worth it. I don't think my deck's that good. But like if you got some good cards and a Haven, but not a lot of good cards, you could buy nothing of value, set all your good cards aside, make it really likely to hit 8 the following turn. Or you could keep the good cards in hand and take a Duchy, but then with lower risk of hitting 8. I don't think he needed the protective Duchy here, but maybe he's playing it safe. Well, or he's, yeah, he went for the Duchy. I would. I mean, maybe he said it. No, he could have set aside another gold. Otherwise, he would have had 8 and would have bought province. But I would think probably the best play is just to set aside the gold. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's right. Distant lands plus province would have tied if he just bought nothing. He could have bought an estate though. Okay. Well. What have we here? We have less than 8 again. Not that it was relevant. I can't buy province anyway. I think I'm just setting aside the trading post and playing the distant lands. This will hopefully be fodder for my trade routes if I ever find them. And those trade routes are going to be worth so much. I would love to be able to play them. I think... Is this just... If I knew I was going to draw a treasure, I would love to play Haven and set something aside. But I really want to hit 5. And I don't want to take the risk of not hitting 5. Okay, please let me have a turn. This looks like it could be a good turn. I got a trade route. I got a trading post to trash. Maybe even I draw a scepter and get to play a... Uh-oh. He's got a trade route. Is he going to get to 8? No, he's not going to get to 8. He is scoring a lot of points, though. I've still got how many distant lands down here? I actually don't know. 2 of them? I think I have 2 distant lands in these bottom 7 cards. I'd really like to play those. Ooh, that estate buy is going to make this trade route super duper strong. I would love it if I could find a scepter. Nope. So I cannot beat 40 here, even if I bought province and played distant lands. That would be insufficient. So do I set aside the distant lands for the following turn? Do I just toil it? Let's see. So if I trash trading post, that's 5 money. 5 whole money. I'll have 10 money. 10 money is a lot. If I could toil distant lands and buy province and get 10 whole points, and I would still be losing. So I think I just have to rely on him never ever hitting 8. Because the moment he hits 8, I'm just toast. I'm surprised I even made it this long. Like, I could set aside distant lands and do double duchy here. But then I'm not really threatening anything for the following turn. Like, I'm going to have 2 distant lands in my hand that I need to play, which means I have to toil stuff. Maybe I set aside Harem, trash trading post, toil distant lands, and buy a duchy. And maybe I don't even know what's down there, but... yeah, I bottom decked a trade route and distant lands. I think if he has a bad turn, I could win here. So if you wouldn't mind, Warfrat. Okay, well, never mind. GG. Yeah, I think that one was just got off to a bad start. Bottom decking trading post is kind of nasty, and that is the central goal of the deck, is to play trading post a bunch early. And then I also didn't line it up with estates very effectively early in the game. I think that's probably the main source of the loss. Game 3. Ooh, we got a lot going on here. So first things first, what are the allies? By allies, I mean cards from the allies expansion, because that is going to have to be clarified every time I say allies now. So we got Guildmaster. The one that looks like Galleria but isn't Galleria. And I'm already starting to get the hang of which one's which. So Guildmaster, plus 3 coins, gain a favor. The favor lets you use Desert Guides, which is like a guide effect. This should let you get a hella guides. Like, this is like livery. But why would you need 50 guides? You could cycle through your deck like 20 times to find the ideal 5-card hand. Guildmaster does not seem exceptionally useful with this particular ally. Ally the landscape, not ally the card. Although ally the landscapes are also allies, the cards from the allies expansion. Dog. Hey, Bijou! Oh, is there something outside? I'm gonna need you to calm down. What is this in your mouth? With that settled, where were we? We also got Sycophant, which for the second time, that just doesn't seem like the best ally. The landscape. This is gonna get. What do you call these things that is more clear? The Desert Guides does not make Sycophant look great to me. Also, we've got Importer, which lets you start with 5 favors anyway in total. So you're not even going to need Guildmaster Sycophant anytime soon. This is too many liaisons. Too many liaisons spoil the alliance, as they say. We've also got Contract. This is another... Oh my god, this is... Okay, spelling liaisons is quite the task. That is not a English-looking word. We have a lot of ways to get a relatively useless ally. So Contract also gives favors. +2, so it's like a silver that gives favors. And it can let you duration an action, which could be good for reliability, maybe, but otherwise seems not very strong. Bauble. It's like pawn, but a treasure. See, aha! Look at that. Warfret didn't include the second eye, because why would there be an eye there? It doesn't make any sense. Liaison is a weird word. So what are we doing? Well, I see black market, so I want to build a really big engine, especially with outpost and city quarter. The rest of this kingdom just looks like kind of junk. Is there a talisman rush of some sort? No. There's a lot of cheap cards, but nothing good to do with them. I think I'm just going to open double black market. And we're going to plumb the depths of the black market deck for trashing and such things. This is a sad hand. I suppose I shall use one of my desert guides. When you open with a double terminal, you never want to see a turn 3 hand that does not have a terminal in it, because that means you're either colliding them on the next hand or one of them is bottom decking. This is probably the less bad of the 2 outcomes. Those cards look incredibly unhelpful. Do I want any of that? Not at all. Do not buy. I don't want anything. I just want to play black markets and buy things from there. We'll buy a market square, I guess. That's kind of a nothing card. Just none of these cards appeal to me in the slightest. It's too early for city quarter outpost. I can't add another terminal. Ooh, Ironmonger and Mastermind both look really good. So my first black market didn't go so hot, but I'm feeling it now. This second black market is going to flip over a recruiter, and then we're going to be in business. Catacombs, I'll take it. Is it too early for city quarter? Probably so. I got another black market down there. Debt with black market's kind of awkward because turns where you're in debt, you literally just cannot buy things from the black market deck. Oh, torture and displace both seem good. Because you're not actually allowed to pay off your debt until the buy phase. Garrison, I gotta figure out what this does. +2 coins this turn when you gain a card, add a token here. At the start of your next turn, remove them for +1 card each. When you gain a card. That sounds good. I want that. Mostly because that seems like it would be good with Outpost to set up a big Outpost turn. Like you play the Garrison on your normal turn, and then you do Outpost things with a big hand. So I'm actually pretty over-terminaled, aren't I? I wonder if I would guide this. Probably not. All I need to do at the moment is pay off debt. So having 4 coppers in hand seems okay. That's a whole lot of not treasures. That's treacherous. I like that. I think contract could come up here eventually for added reliability. I would rather not do either of those things, Mr. Torturer. I guess I'm discarding. I don't have trashing yet, so oh, goodness. Oh, no. I didn't even notice. It was Master Mound. I'm going to take... Oh, this is mean. This is cruel. Ow, that hurts. Oh, Priest looks exceptional. Honestly, Hunter and Barge both look good as well. Outpost makes sense. Oh, and he's top decking it even. Fancy, fancy. That was a nice play. Oh my god, I'm a moron. I'm an absolute idiot. What have I done? Why did I take 2 curses when I had Desert Cock? I forgot this thing existed. Well, look, I've never played with these cards ever before. If you are led to believe that Warfrat and I were playtesters, that's a lie. This is my first time with allies, and so I have a totally valid excuse for not noticing Desert Guide. I just gained 2 curses for no reason. I could have just discarded everything and then called Desert Guides. That was silly in the extreme. Those cards would have been okay if I had the opportunity to buy them, which I didn't. Take a bauble. I think I'm pretty lost here, aren't I? I am a fervent enjoyer of black market on a good day, but this is not one of its better kingdoms. I mean, while it is a central card, it's a central card kind of more in a bad way. I think the ideal black market games are the ones where it's like, what do I play here? I guess Garrison. Not gonna do a whole heck of a lot, but I'll do something. So actually, undo the treasure play. I should alms for something and then buy city quarter, I think. I think that the best cases for black market. Ow, okay, this time I've learned my lesson. You're not fooling me. The best cases for black market are like the middle, like 70% of kingdoms or so. The real strong kingdoms are too strong to really need to find anything good from black market, and so it's just kind of non-essential. And then you got the real weak kingdoms like this one, where it's just like, well, I mean, this is not a weak kingdom in the normal sense. Like, you got city quarter and outpost, but it's like you can't do a whole lot without the black market. And here I think it gets like a little bit too essential to find stuff from the black market, and that's no fun. Like, despite black market's main gimmick ostensibly being that it's a variable market, I think variable market deck builders are like actually trash and way worse than Dominion, and that's not the part of black market that I think makes it a fun card. I like that it, in various ways, it lets you do interesting, novel things with treasure interactions. It lets you build bigger, a lot of gain and play stuff. It's all the little subtle elements of it that I think make it a fun card, not the fact that it shows you 3 random cards. And so the more significance that element of the card plays, the less good of a card it ends up being. Enjoyment-wise, not strength-wise. Yeah, he seems to have his deck mostly up and running. I still haven't even found a way to trash, have I? This is getting pretty close to resignable. I don't even have an outpost in my deck. Oh, yeah. He's got 3 city quarters. What am I even doing? GG. This is well beyond over. All right, final game. Now we crank up allies to the maximum. Not quite the maximum. I think it's only 7 of them out of a possible 10, but crank up allies to the, what's the word for kind of close to maximum? I don't have a good word for that. All right, what have we here? A lot of these were in the previews. So we got Skirmisher. It's like Treasury or Baker or something. But each time you buy it, it gives them a discard attack. So you got to keep buying it if you want to keep getting the attack. It also works with other attacks. Although, are there any other attacks in this kingdom? I don't think there are. So you'd have to keep buying Skirmisher if you want that effect. Or gaining Skirmisher in other ways. We got Modify, which is the love child of Remodel and Upgrade. It's a decent, flexible trasher. We got Royal Galley. +1 card. You may play a non-duration action from your hand. Set it aside. If you did, then at the start of your next turn, play it. This is like cantrip now, Lost City next turn. That seems pretty good for 4, although only once you've got actions in your deck. The old map pile. This one actually kind of confuses me. They're all like situational middling cards that I think are hard to figure out the value of. We got a Sifter, a mini outpost, a gainer, VP card. I could see Distant Shore being reasonably useful here. There's a lot of action cards you want to gain, So you pick up one of those, it'll probably be useful for at least a while, right? I would expect you could make use of Distant Shore for quite a while, which maybe means you would also be happy to have Voyage, because Distant Shore and Voyage kind of do nice things with each other. I think Royal Galley. How does Royal Galley interact with Voyage? Probably more anti-synergistically, right? But the thing that jumps out is, oh well, if you play Royal Galleys on your non-Voyage turns, you can resolve the effect on the Voyage turn and play extra things. But that also suggests that on your Voyage turns, you're not getting Royal Galleys down, or you're not durationing a barge. And then your non-Voyage turns end up being worse because you didn't have that effect coming in on the main turn, where it matters the most. We got Merchant Camp. It's a stop card village that top decks itself if you want it to. Is that good here? Maybe. Got Bauble again. All right, got Banded Nomads. I played this one earlier and it confused me. Let me figure out exactly what it does. When you gain a card costing 3 or more, you may spend a favor for +1 card or +1 action or +1 buy. So in the buy phase, it's basically just plus buy per favor. That's mediocre. I think the significant elements are going to be the plus card and plus action. If you can activate it during your action phase, which you could with Falconer or Modify. I think this is a thing that will make favors pretty worth getting. So where's the Liaison in this kingdom? Just Bauble's not the best Liaison, I don't think, as far as sort of like, I mean, it's not a bad card, but as far as getting a bunch of favors goes, it's not the best. But I think getting favorites off of Bauble seems good here with Banded Nomads. Oh, Guildmaster is a Liaison, and we said Guildmaster gives you lots of favors. So I probably want a Guildmaster at some point. It sounds really good. So I think the fact that it uses 2 ores in Banded Nomads suggests this is an exclusive ore, right? Like if it wanted to imply that you could take +1 card and +1 action on the same gain, it would probably say or something, not or. So I think that you can only get to choose one. I don't know. We'll find out in a second because I think we're going to use that. Opening with a Trasher seems fine to me. Well, did not find an estate. It's a little bit sad. We don't get to test out the Banded Nomads. Actually, I couldn't test it quite yet anyway because I would only have 1 favor. So trash and a copper. I could draw a card or I could gain a card. I don't need a second Bauble all that much. I'll draw a card. And I think it would behoove me to top deck a mill, right? Because I got a boatload of estates coming up. Looks like Wharfrat's actually in a very similar spot, but doesn't even get to top deck the mill. Yeah, let's top deck a mill. And if I'm lucky, where's top deck? Top deck. If I'm lucky, I could still hit 5 here. I do hit 5. I bottomed at 2 estates. I think it was basically 50-50. I had 6 cards there. If there's an estate on bottom, top decking mill gets me to 5. And if there's a copper on bottom, this gets me to 4. Either of which is better than the alternative, which was hitting 2 to 3. So with 5, what do I acquire? Falconer for Royal Galleys seems excellent. Barge also seems really good. Drawing cards tends to be a good thing to do. I mean, I could see a second Modify. I could see Guildmaster. Oh, a lot of these 5s. I don't think it's Skirmisher. Skirmisher seems not nearly important enough. But any of these other 4/5s seems like a plausible thing you could acquire. I think I'm feeling Falconer. Yeah, I mean, I don't need any of the Banded Nomads things. This is a sad hand. This is even worse than it looks. So like, You're hitting 2, which is terrible. But it also means for a second shuffle in a row, my modify is going to fail to do anything of value. Because what it really needs to do is trash my estates. I don't want a second bauble. That was just a waste of a turn. Anyways, in a world where shuffles were just and morally righteous, the modify and the falconer colliding would be actually not such a bad thing. It would be actually kind of a good thing, because you could modify an estate into a royal galley or a mill, and then activate Band of Nomads to draw or to take action and react falconer, and then gain another card, and then you'd have an action to play that card. That would be like a nice little thing. But no such justice exists in the world. And so we're left with this. I could trash the bauble to do the same thing. That's one option. I could... Oh, well, no, I can still do this, right? If I modify copper into a bauble, that activates falconer, and then I can activate Band of Nomads off the falconer gain, even if not the bauble gain. I think this all checks out. So we gain that. I don't even know what I want. I mean, Royal Galley seems like the best of these cards, but I don't have an action to play it with, so it's not the best at the moment. Maybe just old map. Action. I do not believe I want to rotate the old maps. In fact, I'd like to buy another old map. Coin favor. All right, so this is looking better. Actually going to get to trash an estate. Would I like to rotate? I think I would. I can consider acquiring a voyage now, which I think I shall do. I can draw. I think drawing sounds good. Could get me to 4. If it gets to my falconer, I could activate my falconer. Yeah, this gets me to 4. So we're just going to do coin in favor twice, I think. Or is coin top decking better and top deck the voyage? Or top deck a royal galley, perhaps? There's a falconer down there, but I'm not sure what else. Second, no, I think I like top decking a royal galley. Sounds good. Continue. So there's like a 50-50 chance that this royal galley actually caused my falconer to not be in my hand, which is a shame because I would love to activate my falconer. And the odds they gain a 2-type card in this kingdom is pretty high. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 2-type piles. Oh, well, as it turns out, they were not going to gain any 2-type cards. They merely gained a merchant camp. One of the only 2 non-2 types. All right. And I discard an estate. Shall I rotate the voyages? I do believe that I shall. I've already got some voyages. I don't need all of them, and I'd like to stop Warfrat from getting them. So here, I can gain and play something. Probably Royal Galley and hope to draw an action card. Take a risk here. A leap of faith to the great unknown. Oh wait, this could draw my voyage. Actually, that's gonna be sad if it draws voyage because Royal Galley can't play duration cards. Okay, well, I didn't draw an action card, so this is just a ruined library, but whatever. We'll go coin favor. I think I want Sunken Treasure, but don't desperately need to top deck it, because I'd be happy if I draw it on my Voyage turn. He's taking more galleys. That makes sense. A barge would be awful helpful, I think, for having good turns. Should I rotate the Sunken Treasures? These little rotate decisions do give a bit of analysis paralysis. Like, am I marginally helped more than Warfret by Sunken Treasure being on the top compared to Distant Shore? I don't know. I could see acquiring a second Sunken Treasure would not be preposterous. I think I'll leave it there for now. Let's play the mill before the old map so that the card I discard does not go back into my shuffle. Shan't rotate. And I shall modify trash an estate and gain myself another galley. Ooh, I could draw a card. I hear that's a good thing to do. Oh, and I can activate a Falconer. Look at these little combos. Woo, boy. I think just a mill. I don't have a good target for galley at the moment. He has his Falconer in hand a whole lot. I don't like that. So ideally, I actually, there's no way I can hit 5. I was thinking of top decking a Sunken Treasure for my Voyage turn, but I realized that's actually not a thing I'm capable of doing. So I want to play the Bauble before the Sunken Treasure because it would let me top deck a thing, which I think could be Falconer maybe, and then I can activate the Falconer. Wait a second. When any player gains a card, you may play this from your hand. No, I was thinking putting a Falconer in my hand and activating it would be a nice little way to circumvent the Voyage restriction. But I think reacting the Falconer actually counts as one of the 3 things on your Voyage turn, because you're technically playing the Falconer from your hand. So that's right out. Maybe it's a barge then, and I get a barge down on my Voyage turn. Do I want to buy a 3-cost card? Yeah, probably, right? I'm going to add more and more terminals, and so I could do with a merchant camp. I mean, Bauble's kind of like a village if it lets me make my modifies and Falconers non-terminal. I think I like having an actual. No, I like having favors too. Let's just do this. Top deck barge. Continue. Do not top deck Bauble. Oh, look at me. I can draw a card if I want. This is probably a good shuffle to trigger, right? Makes all these coppers miss. Makes my Voyage and my Modify miss. Sure, let's do it. I got my favor back regardless, so all's well that ends well. Do I want more baubles? Can one have too many baubles? Surely one can. I think I'm going to pass on additional baubles. I feel like I have a little bit of a lead, which shouldn't really be the case because I'm player 2. I did have I had a better turn 3, didn't I? We both had otherwise kind of sad turn 3s, but mine was able to be resolved in a rather happy fashion by top decking that mill, which he did not have the ability to do. So maybe that's where I got the lead from. Ho, you fool, you've activated my trap card. Finally, I get to be the one reacting my Falconer to you. Oh, I can draw a card? Oh, look at this. Watch him gain a skirmisher, or I guess he had to gain a skirmisher, play a skirmisher, and gain another skirmisher, but like he could attack me and send me back down to 3 cards, theoretically speaking. My deck is not as thin. I never really got it. Words are difficult. He has 2 modifies. I have 1 modify, which means he is thinner than me, is what I was trying to say. Yeah, look at his nice lean deck with many a galley. I should get more roller galleys. It's actually, we managed to go this whole match without getting any of the nastier of the attack cards. I think Allies has a few real mean attacks which depart from the trend of Menagerie and Renaissance of being friendly kingdoms or expansions. Like a match earlier with Hippie 6, we had the battle plan pile, which is just gruesome and mean. Not very allied at all, very rivalrous. But this kingdom, or all 4 of these kingdoms, have been kind of nice and attack free for the most part. I can rotate now, I guess. Well, can I? I still wouldn't mind having a second one of these sunken treasures, would I? Maybe that ship has sailed, because 2 second treasures earlier would have been fine, but now I've got most of the action cards, so I'm not really going to have enough for these things to gain that isn't already in play. Okay. I've got a Falconer down there, don't I? See if I can... Oh, no, it's way down there, actually. In any case, I don't need to gain things, so I'm just going to draw one. Am I top decking a barge again? I didn't end up getting that merchant camp, did I? I said I was going to, and then I didn't. Huh. What am I doing on this voyage turn? I'm making mistakes is what I'm doing. Look at all these royal galleys setting aside cantrips and stuff to have a big turn that are. This is the anti-synergy I was talking about. My deck is set up such that all of these cantrips are more or less going to waste, I think, because they're being used in my voyage turn. It's a mea culpa. Well, I probably want the last Royal Galley, at the very least. I could probably get that off a Falconer if I need to. Let's take a favor and a coin. And a favor. A coin. A favor and top decking, I guess. Take a skirmisher. Distant lands. Distant shore. It could be scoring time. Let's take points. I don't need it to be in my hand. Oh, Warfront, you dog! You stole the last Royal Galley right from under my nose. How is his Falconer always in his hand? He manages to react that thing every time. Let's top take a barge. Seeing as I've now exhausted all my Royal Galleys, I'm going to need to have something or other to set up for having a decent turn next turn. Okay, so Royal Galley, discard. Sure, let's rotate away from those. Or actually, maybe I'm gaining one of those with my Sunken Treasure. Don't rotate. So I can only play 3 of these, but 4 of these look worth playing. Quite the conundrum I have. Would I rather duration 2 barges or play Falconer and gain something? I'm surely durationing one thing. Yeah, there's no way to circumvent the voyage restriction and actually play my Falconer. Sad. I think I just need to stop playing this voyage is what I need to do so that my Royal Galleys can be more helpful. I think I'd rather have a barge down than gain a mill. Seems better. End actions. Wait, it's telling me I can react. This is gonna fail, right? If I click Falconer, what's gonna happen? Let's find out. Nothing happens. Okay, so I'm allowed to react with Falconer, but I'm not allowed to play Falconer. I guess those are distinct things. Interesting. Okay. I can react it again. Look at my Falconer. So piles are getting low-ish. Guildmaster is not helpful for piling baubles or estates. Right. Band of Nomads let you buy unlimited 3 and 4 cost cards, but not 2 cost cards. And I don't have enough money to think about piling Merchant Camp. I don't know what third pile is going to run. Mill looks like it could go anytime now, but aside from that, oh, what if you Seaway something? Oh, I haven't even thought about Seaway at all this game, really. But you could Seaway Mill or something like that. And then the piles look easier to empty, potentially. What has he set aside? He did this better than I did. Gallying, Modify, and Guildmaster, definitely better cards to have set aside on your Voyage turn than random cantrips. I suppose I should aim to do something like that. I wonder. You can't do a whole lot on your Voyage turn. I was trying to think if I could win across 2 turns, but with Outposter Seize the Day, that usually means 2 full turns. Here, that's like 1 turn plus a few little bonus thingies. I think unless he lowers piles a bunch, it still looks implausible that I pile out. Mill and Bauble. I almost said that in a very New Yorkish fashion. The Bauble pile is about to pile out. More barges, okay. Setting a skirmisher aside. That doesn't negate the effect, does it? No. Skirmisher's not a while and play thing. Is he gonna attack me? This is his Voyage turn. He can't do a whole lot. Right? Right? Well, he's only played 2 cards from hand. Yeah, so Royal Galley, I think maybe what he was thinking was Royal Galley playing a thing only counts as playing 1 card from hand. But that still counts as 2 cards from hand. Because you played Royal Galley from hand, which then plays another action card from your hand. The Voyage thing is pretty dang restrictive. It's hard to get around. These piles are low. Maybe I do think about poiling the baubles. Oh, he gets to do the Falconer failure too. Yeah, I think piling Mill and Bauble looks like a thing that is reasonably possible here. I'm fine getting estates if this is going to be my last turn. So I'm pretty sure I want to Gallia Modify to gain a Bauble or something on the next turn. And ideally I would Galley Falconer as well, which I think I can manage, right? I can use Band of Nomads to make these non-terminal, so I can play them both. I think this should all work out pretty okay. I can rotate to Sunken Treasure, I guess. Not Sunken Treasure. I can rotate to Distant Shore just to take points just in case. I don't think it makes much of a difference. Or maybe I only have 2 old maps. Ideally, I guess I would rotate all the way back around to Voyage. Maybe there's a scenario where I gain and play an additional Voyage to have 2 extra turns, because they do stack. but I don't think I could possibly do that because I don't have enough old maps. Okay, so I've got 3 royal galleys to work with here. We shall modify a copper into a bauble. I don't want to react the falconer because I want to galley the falconer. So I shall continue. Oh, that doesn't work at all. Let me undo that. I thought I could do that, and I could not. Let us undo the copper trash. I have to get a 3 or 4 cost card to make that work. So I can do this on the 2 mill gains. That is all. Okay, so we're going to turn a mill into a mill, or a bauble into a mill. Probably mill into mill is better. I don't need to trigger the shuffle all too much. Gain a card, mill. Okay, here we go. Take plus action. Do not react falconer. I can play the voyage now, I suppose. And I'm triggering the shuffle anyway because I don't know how royal galley works. Take action again. Taking action sounds like I'm doing something decisive. We're not going to stand by and let Warfrat win. We're going to take action. This feels like a win. This sunken treasure does not help me at all, does it? We'll take a guildmaster just for the sake of it. We said we wanted that. Okay. Plus card, I guess. Plus buy. Plus card. Woo, I've drawn. That was probably stupid. I just triggered a silly shuffle, but I think it should be okay in the end. And now I finish it off. And I can't even end my turn because I am required to resolve all this stuff. Please, menus, please stop popping up. I promise the game is over. There we go. Now I can end actions. GG's. Look at that efficiency. Never need more than 2 symbols to convey a message.